Shemai boys and girls, this is your Wednesday Health and Wellbeing Challenge, and it's a really lovely challenge for you. And this is based upon all being a good friend, which is something that in our book, Billionaire Boy, Joe is really hoping to find in somebody, as he's had a lot of people be unkind to him. So we're going to have a look at what is kind and what you think isn't kind with RLO to sort kind and unkind traits in a Venn diagram. So let's have a little look at our success criteria today. So it says, I can draw two circles that overlap. So the first task for you to do is to draw our two circles which show our Venn diagram. So I've got my pink circle, and it can be any colour, it doesn't need to be a colour here. So I've drawn that one out. And then when I'm drawing out the green circle, I needed to make that one so that it overlapped with the pink one. So there's a gap in the middle. And this gap in the middle shows that it can be either. So it can be it's a kind and it's an unkind, depending on how you look at it. That's a little bit confusing, but I'm going to show you in greater detail in a moment. And then our last part of our success criteria, I can sort the kind and unkind traits into the correct place. So let's have a little look at these traits. So these are going to be shown in a table. So you're going to have to freeze this at some point to be able to write these down into your circles. So there's lots of different traits here. There's 16. And for example, you might not be able to fit them all in. That's okay. Please don't worry. Maybe go for the ones that you're drawn to start off with and see if you've got all the room. Please don't panic. So, for example, I think that smiling is a really kind trait. That's something I really look for in a friend. I think it's a nice thing to do is if you see someone, to give them a big happy smile, and it always brightens up my day. That's a very kind thing to do. But for example, you might say that telling a joke, well, it could be kind because you could be telling a really nice joke, or you could be kind of telling a joke that isn't very kind about someone. It could be about someone in your class and they might not be very happy with it. So sometimes it's kind and sometimes it's not. So let's have a look on our next slide to show how I would write that down. So I've put our lovely smiling in the kind bubble, so to show that I think smiling is a kind trait. But telling a joke, I thought, well, it could be both. It could be a nice joke or it could be quite a nasty joke. So I've popped that in the middle part, and that's why you need your circles to have a space between them, almost like a circle sandwich, to put the traits that you think, well, it could be both, really. Now, there's lots that you might think, oh, they're definitely kind, and lots that you think, I think that's really unkind. It's a bit more of a challenge to find the ones that would be in the middle. And if you can't find any, that's okay. Please don't panic. And remember, what you think is kind and what unkind might be a bit different to your friends, but that might be because you have a different reason. So you're using that connective because to share your reasons if you were discussing this, for example, in class. But that's okay. I want us to think about what a kind friend is and maybe what an unkind person is, because we need to remember sometimes to always be that kind person. So if somebody, for example, came to our school, like Joe Spud starts a new school in Billionaire Boy, we need to make sure that we would show him all the kind traits. So your LO is to sort the kind and unkind traits out in a Venn diagram. So your success criteria, you need to draw your circles so they overlap and then go back to this page so that you can see all of the different traits and maybe try and write as many down as possible. You can write them in different colours if you'd like. You can put little bubbles around them if you want to. That's totally up to you. And maybe you might think of some. Why not write them down? Do them in a different colour and just let me know. I'm really looking forward to seeing this, boys and girls, because I know at Read It Row we are very kind children. So I know you're going to have a very sensible hat on. So I'm looking forward to seeing them. Enjoy yourselves. So long. Bye.